matter what circumstance I'm in, and you always gotta stay ready. Because there's the moment and chances sometimes you don't get back. So, you always gotta stay ready. But I feel like I've been ready. And, I hate the fact that everybody gotta tell me every other time, be ready, Because in my mental, my mindset, I already know that I'm ready. The more you keep telling me, get ready, it's kind of irritating, but no, I'm always ready.
What do you do to stay ready?
What do I do?
Yeah, what did you do to stay ready?
I work out every day. I play with some of the guys here every other day, and just try to have a good spirit every single day. The more my spirit is where I want, that's how I stay ready.
Was it tough to get the DNPs to be told you weren't going to play?
I mean, it is tough, any player is going to be tough, but, what am I doing about it? At the end of the day, what you going to do about it? You just got to, like I said, you just got to stay ready. You got to stay, whenever your moment happens, it's going to happen bad. Like for me, it was kind of, it's just looking at it, it's kind of like tough, but it's really nothing I could do about it, I can't complain about it, I can't do nothing about it, If I don't play, it's coach's decision. So, no.
Do you understand why?
I try not to think about it. I just try to stay ready. I try not to really even think about why I'm not playing or why I'm playing. So I try not to even think why I'm not playing. Because the more I think about that, the more it's not going to sit right in my head. So I just block all that noise and just stay focused on whenever I get my chance.
Did you feel any rust at all today?
I mean, I've been playing. It's humid over here. We play in this arena when there's no AC every other day. So, that just keeps me in shape with the rest of the guys. So, yeah.
Steve, we saw that Jimmy is officially questionable. What is your optimism level that he'll be able to go tomorrow?
I'm relatively optimistic. I mean, Jimmy is Jimmy. I mean, we know he's willing to play through anything. So we'll see. I mean, this is a day-to-day thing for sure, and we'll see how he feels tomorrow. But I think there's a chance he plays.
Do you have to, knowing that, do you have to make 2 game plans, rotations as you're not sure?
Yeah, not 2 game plans, but 2 rotations for sure. The game plan doesn't change.
Steve, Chris Finch talked about how he felt like the physicality in this year's playoffs is at pretty high level. I was wondering for you, from what you've seen, is there a difference between maybe the playoffs this year and a few years ago, or is it just kind of how it's always been?
No, it's different. It's definitely more physical. You can see the pace is down across the league. So it's definitely different this year, and everyone has to react to that.
Do you think it's good or bad for the league to have such a difference in the physicality between playoffs and regular season?
I think everybody wants consistency. I think there's what we all want is for there to be a distinction between foul grifting and actual fouls, and I think that was kind of the whole topic last year, and when you go late in the season last year when there was a philosophical shift, we were trying to get away from the stuff where guys were just buying fouls, and I thought it created a much better competitive product. And then in the playoffs, that really the job of the officials is to set a tone and then establish consistency, and then you just have a clean game where both teams are going to argue about calls, but at the end, you feel like it was well officiated and that the right team won, and so I think the league works hard to get to that point, and I say it all the time. It's a brutal job. They have a really brutal job.
Steve, is the Jimmy thing a pain tolerance thing? Is it anything similar to what Steph had?
Yeah, very similar. And so it's pain tolerance thing. So that's why he's day to day.
All the grabbing, tugging, and hugging they do to Steph when he's running off ball, does any of that impact what you guys do? Do you have to try to do anything different to get those guys off of him?
Yeah, I mean, you have to try to counter it however you can. So whether it's running a certain action or changing a tactic, whatever it is, you've got to adjust to the way the game is called.
What jumped out about the film from the other night and just the ways that they were able to...
Just our lack of physicality. It was a typical response from a home team down 1-0. Houston was great. They played with more urgency. They played a playoff game. We played a regular season game, and that was the main issue for us. Our lack of physicality defensively was really apparent.
You think that's part of what helped get Green going, was lack of physicality?
For sure. Yeah, we gave him way too much space.
Hi, Steve.
Hi,
how did everyone else come out of the game, and how's Brandon feeling?
Brandon's much better, yeah. First thing when I saw him at the meeting, he was eating, so that was a good sign. But he looks and feels much better.
Steve, what did you guys do today? I mean, I'm assuming you didn't do a whole lot, but what did you guys do today?
Long film session, reminded our guys of our game plan, and then had a probably 30-minute practice where we got some shots up and offensive and defensive stations, just reminding our guys what we're trying to accomplish.
Was Jimmy off to the side or was he participating?
He was off to the side, yeah.
Steve, all the guys who got minutes, with Jimmy going down, a lot of guys got crucial minutes maybe that they can build off of, right, in terms of having that playoff experience. What did you think? Yeah, everybody's got to be ready depending on what happens, whether Jimmy plays or not. A lot of guys came in and really performed well. Pat Spencer had a great game for us, and it's great to see J.K. back out there, finding his rhythm. And we've got to just be ready for whatever we're facing, and we believe we've got a lot of guys who can help us win the game tomorrow. Dylan Brooks defended their green and called your green. He defended his team for not being dirty and called Draymond dirty today. I'm sure that over all the years you've heard that a few times, and maybe you've gotten pretty good at ignoring the chatter that comes from in a playoff series.
Yeah, Dylan said that. Huh. Interesting.
Coach, fans are very passionate about the game and their teams. Do you feel like some of the things going on around social media are sort of out of pocket and maybe crossing some sort of lines? Around
social media?
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on in social media. The one thing I do know that I feel strongly about is I saw what happened last night in Detroit, with the fans chanting "F you, Brunson." Obviously, Draymond the other night in Houston. It feels like we're stepping way over the line. And, I just would implore, I know our fans aren't going to do that. I would just implore fans everywhere to not cross the line. I mean, you can yell at the players and you can say a lot of things, but I just find it disturbing when there's 20,000 fans yelling F you to a player. There's kids all over the arena. Like, what are we teaching our kids? And I understand it's an emotional time when you come to a game and you want your team to win. But, the league asks the players to watch their decorum. I think we should ask our fans to do the same. I mean, everyone kind of knows where the line is, and we're definitely crossing it, and I don't think it's good for anybody.
Do you excuse me if I'm crossing a line, but you think that a lot of that stems from your own experience back at Arizona State, and
do I think it's coming from what? Like
where you're coming from, back in when you played for Arizona State Arizona, and fans were chanting inappropriate things at you at Arizona State? Do you feel like some of that?
I think it's just coming from human emotion. I mean, the beauty of sports is that we're so invested and we love our team and we're cheering so hard. And it's just, I think in general, fans are not, trying to, cause too much disturbance. I mean, obviously there are times when that happens, but I just think it's the emotion of, human emotion of winning and losing, and sometimes it spills over. And I think it's, I just think fans should think twice before, in unison chanting with, like I said, kids all over the arena, the players themselves, family members watching. It's just a bizarre scene, and it's honestly, it's not something that I had ever heard before Boston in 22. So I think it's probably more just a sign of where we are, societally today compared to even 10, 15 years ago. It's just more and more things are accepted, and I think it's probably something we should think about before we just launch into.